Hi guys, it's Elle from Think Before You Type, and I'm here with Taylor Berrett. How are you today?
I'm doing well.
Awesome. So your debut album, Great Falls, just came out this week, which I'm sure is crazy exciting.
Yeah.
So can you talk about what it's like to have it finally out there and for people ready to listen to it?
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice to have spent so much time writing the songs and recording them and putting them together and working to try and make something good. It's nice to be able to put it out and kind of it's out of my hands. There's no more work for me to do on it, and folks can kind of decide whether they like it or not, which is nice.
Yeah, the reception seems like it's pretty good, so it seems awesome.
Yeah, it seems like it. It
Yeah.
seems like folks are into it, which is good.
Good. So what was that writing and recording process like for you?
For the most part, it's funny because it's a first album, and so it kind of includes songs from a big, wide range of time. And so, some of them I wrote in my bedroom, some of them I wrote in studios, some I wrote on the train. And so it's, it was interesting kind of getting all these different songs from different times in my life and different places and periods and putting them together. And then we recorded it in the UK, actually, which was really fun for me because I hadn't traveled a whole lot outside the country before then. So it was fun. I really, really enjoyed it.
Good. So can you talk a little bit about your musical influences? What influenced this album? What influences you on a whole?
I just really like great songs, and so I listen to a lot of different music, really just looking for good songs. And so, growing up, when you're a kid, you really just listen to what your parents listen to. And so growing up, it was like Billy Joel and Stevie Wonder and Paul Simon and Elton John, like those kind of great songwriters of, 70s, 80s. And so that was my foundation a little bit. But now, I listen to everything. I'm always just kind of trying to be a student of music, trying to find good songs and melodies and rhythm whenever I can. So I'm kind of all over the place.
Nice. So who is your role model, whether it's in life or in music?
Yeah, so I'm one of four brothers, and I was really, really close with all of them, and they're all kind of role models for me in different ways, and they're all very, very creative guys. Not they don't have careers in music, but they're just smart, and so that I always kind of aspired to be like them, and my parents as well. And they found a focus balance in their life where they put importance on the things that matter, and career is one of those things, but it's not the highest thing. So I've kind of looked to them, and again, my parents as well, as kind of role models as far as finding a way to balance the different parts of your life in a way that is good.
So what is your favorite thing about touring?
I love performing. Like, I love getting to meet a bunch of different folks out on the road, and people who might be touched by the music or enjoy the show, and that's always fun. But I also really, really like seeing the kind of natural side of the country or wherever I'm traveling. It's really nice to be able to be in between cities and in the middle of nowhere and just kind of see how the country changes as you go from one place to the other. And so I like that. I like taking pictures of it and just kind of enjoying it and being out in the world.
You mentioned people being touched by your performance. So have you had any really great fan encounters, whether it's online or in real life?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to be like, oh, these are all the people that have that have loved my music. But every once in a while you'll find somebody that for whatever reason, something you said in a song or something you sang about connects with them personally, either something they've experienced, and that's always really, really special. Because you just, you write just trying to make something good, and sometimes you just happen to find something that connects with somebody. Exactly. So that's always really exciting.
Yeah, that's great. So what advice do you have for young people who want to get into music but don't really know where to get started with it?
I think it's like anything. Before you start worrying about, getting in the business and making connections and that kind of thing, which is something that at some point you need to concern yourself with, I think the first thing you have to do is just try and be good at it. Just sit down and get in a room every day and find time to just work, write songs, find a cheap, the first recordings I made were on like a $20 desktop recording microphone. Just find ways to write songs and record them and play them for people and figure out what works. And then once you feel comfortable, then start doing the boring stuff. But I think a lot of times, especially now with the internet, it's easy to just record something really quick and just put it out there and try and get people to listen to it. And I think there's something to be said for just taking the time to really try and get good at it and then go for the next stage.
Yeah, that really makes sense. So how has the internet played a role in your career? You kind of just mentioned that a little bit, but
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that there's definitely a very positive side to it, where it gives a platform to anybody. So you don't really have to have a major record deal. You don't have to have any of that to be able to have people listen to your music or listen to what you have to say. And so that's great. And so for me, it was an opportunity, you know, back when it was MySpace and then it was Facebook, SoundCloud. It was an opportunity to see what people thought of what I was doing and see what worked and see what people responded to and have an audience. So at the beginning, especially, and now still, it's incredibly important. But you know, it gave me an audience when I couldn't show up to a venue somewhere and there would be people there, but I had an audience online, which was exciting.
So have you gotten any negative parts of the internet experience? Have you dealt with negative comments or anything?
Oh yeah. It's, you know, internet is funny because, you know, there's people that are going to say things that are negative in real life, regardless. But the internet kind of provides this dark side where it's a platform for people to say whatever they want with anonymity.
Exactly.
Which is dangerous in some cases because there's no consequences. And they also, there's no consequences as far as they can't get in trouble for it, and there's also no emotional consequence of them having to face the object.
Yeah.
Exactly. They don't have to look someone in the eyes and say, you know, whatever it is they're saying and see the toll it has. So it's easier to kind of, you know, it's kind of like an emotional drone strike where you can say something mean but not really have to deal with the repercussions of it, which is, it's scary, it's dangerous.
So what do you do to deal with those?
You know, deal with it if someone says something like that about me.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, you just have to recognize everybody has a story, and a lot of folks have a lot more going on than it seems. And so if you can find a place, you know, it's easy to say that just find a way to just not let it affect you. But, you know, if someone says something hurtful, it affects you. Like that's, you don't need to feel bad about letting someone upset you, but you just have to try and find a place where, you know, an emotional place where you can acknowledge that what someone says about you really says more about who they are than it does about who you are. That's really kind of something that you have to recognize. So that's helped me a little bit, and I think that's been helpful to folks that I've talked to.
Yeah, not letting it define you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. What advice do you have for young people who are getting cyberbullied right now? What can you say to encourage them?
I would just say that any kind of bullying is really, it's just not real. It's not coming from a place of truth. It has nothing to do with you. It's everything to do with the person that's bullying. And a lot of those people are in a situation that you can't see that is either frustrating or they're upset, they're confused about their life. There's a whole lot going on under the surface that you can't see. And so it's okay if it makes you feel bad, because there are people out there that are going to say things that are stupid. It's going to happen, and you can't make yourself feel worse because you feel bad about something someone says. You can't be mad at yourself or feeling upset because if someone says something hurtful, you're going to hurt. But you just can't let it define you. You can't let it be something that influences what you do. And I think that's kind of the key to it, is you can't make people stop saying stupid things. I mean, they've been doing that for thousands of years. And now there's a device that lets them say it to more people from the safety of their computer. So, you know, it's just going to happen. It's going to happen to everybody. I mean, and the thing, too, is that if you ever think that you're being bullied because there's something wrong with you, just look at, you know, think about the most famous role model that you have, someone that you look up to that, you know, is in the public arena. They get the worst of it. And if you believe that person is great and they still get that kind of crap from people, then why wouldn't you? I mean, I think it's just to get tied up in that is just dangerous. So just try to let it roll off, I guess, is my advice.
I really love that advice. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.